Hello everyone, Andrew here, and welcome to another random game of the day. Today we are playing Bust-A-Move 4, and like all of the Bust-A-Move games, definitely has a very cute theme to it, as you saw on kind of the opening there. But overall, the Bust-A-Move games, or in Japan as they are known as the Puzzle Bobble games, which I actually prefer that name much more, they are a very fun series of games. They're fun to play, just through kind of like the arcade mode on your own, although they're also a lot of fun to play with friends, see player versus player. Of course, the console version would have a multiplayer mode, just like the arcade version. But yeah, overall, Puzzle Bobble or Bust-A-Move, I always switch between the names. I like Puzzle Bobble more, but then sometimes I call it the North American name just because it makes more sense since I'm in North America. Overall, they're just really fun games, and yes, we are playing Bust-A-Move 4 for the Sega Dreamcast. It was also for the Sony PlayStation, but I don't play enough Dreamcast games, so might as well play it on the Dreamcast. If you play Puzzle Mode, you can either play through the arcade mode, where you pretty much just go through the levels in order, or there's story mode, which there's kind of a story to it, because obviously it's story mode, but the story isn't really what's important. It's just like the levels that are in story mode are fun to go through, and it's kind of interesting how you get to choose what level you want to do. So we are just going to play through some of story mode just for fun, and as you will see, there is kind of an opening cutscene. Oh yes, you also get to choose your character, and just for the sake of this, we'll be playing as Bub. As you've probably noticed, these guys are the guys from Puzzle Bobble, which is why the name Puzzle Bobble makes sense. I mean, you have the Puzzle Bobble games, and then you take the characters from them and put them in a puzzle game and call it Puzzle Bobble. That makes perfect sense. So I don't know why they thought they had to change the name to Bust-A-Move in North America. I guess they thought Puzzle Bobble sounded too, I don't know, not cool enough for some people. So I have no idea. Anyway, so we've started story mode, and we have an opening cutscene here. Like I said, obviously in a game like this, story is not the most important thing, and so the story is just kind of eh. We are playing it mainly because, I mean, it's obviously a fun game. We're not playing it because, oh man, I can't wait to see what happens at the end of this incredible story. But hopefully people enjoy it nonetheless, although the story is quite bizarre. So we're just going to see, we're going to sit here and watch this story. Well, I just talked a little bit about Puzzle Bobble. People might know if you've watched my room tour, I have a big Neo Geo 4-slot arcade machine, and one of the main reasons I definitely wanted that was because I wanted Puzzle Bobble or Bust-A-Move, so that if my friends came over, we could all play that, and it would be really fun, and that's pretty much what's happened. The Neo Geo 4-slot, Neo Geo floor slot, no, the Neo Geo 4-slot is definitely a really incredible thing to have if you have friends coming over and stuff like that. Because, I mean, you have games like Puzzle Bobble or Bust-A-Move. Like I said, I'm going to keep getting confused and accidentally saying one or the other multiple times throughout this video. So you have those games, the games like Metal Slug, tons of fighting games, there's other puzzle games. So overall, the Neo Geo is just an awesome arcade machine to have if you frequently have friends over, because it's just so much fun, some of those games. So anyway, we have some story here. Basically, there's some things that we need to go and collect, and they have all gone into people's dreams, and catastrophic things will happen for some reason if we don't get these things, and for some reason it's us that has to rescue them. I mean, she can't do it herself. Nope, make someone else go and do it, of course. So we need to steal the energy of the cards to restore the proper flow of something. It sounds like card captures going on here. Seal the spirits back into the cards. Anyway, soon enough, don't worry, this isn't the longest cutscene in the world. It's not going to be half the video is just cutscene. We will get on to the levels, and I really like the story mode just because I mean, arcade mode, of course, is fun just on its own, but the way that the story mode kind of works, I really enjoyed that too. Overall, Bust-A-Move is just a fun game to play, regardless of if it's story mode, arcade mode, or if it's with friends. Anyway, this should be the very end of the cutscene right here. I trust you, please, and then there we go. So now loading, because it's a disc game, and here we are to kind of the level select area. So as you will see, you can kind of select a whole bunch of different places across the map. And each one of these things represents one of the cards that you need to rescue, or like find. It's kind of interesting because it's kind of like a Mega Man thing where you can select multiple levels. You can do them in whatever order you want. Although unlike Mega Man, I mean, you don't get like a special attack at the end of each one, which will help you beat the next one. Although it is kind of cool that it kind of lets you decide what order you want to do them in. So we might as well start with the Chariots, since that is where the game started us off at. And yes, here we go. I'm sure everyone is very familiar with just how Puzzle Bobble works. And I botched that, although it is that was a good way to demonstrate that if you really don't want a bubble, like say you get a color that you can't use at the moment, you can just shoot it at the ceiling and it will bounce right back out of the area. So you can always do things like that. Also, you will want to make trick shots like that. So basically place like the white ones where they're not going to get in the way. So if I hadn't have destroyed those white ones and I had destroyed those the black ones there, since the black ones are what was kind of connecting everything together, the white ones would have fallen anyway, but I ended up getting an extra white one. So we were able to destroy that. Overall, I'm sure that a lot of people have probably played Bust-A-Move before, so I don't need to explain the rules to everyone. But man, I remember I used to play this all the time in arcades. I don't know how many people have things like Palladium around. Unfortunately, arcades aren't the biggest thing anymore these days. Although in my area, we still have these places called Palladium. And they are like big buildings, and they have a whole bunch of arcade games. You can usually pay to get like 20 credits or something like that. So you can go around and you can play 20 games, or you can get a card and it'll let you play as many games as you want in an hour. And it's an interesting idea. Unfortunately, it's not like your traditional arcade. You know, you just went in and put your quarters in, but it is still interesting to have something like that around. Although, unfortunately, it's not the greatest thing. As if it were just a true arcade. Let's see, can I get that up there? I am not doing too many awesome trick shots at the moment. Just kind of trying to talk and play at the same time. So yes, those were rainbow bubbles, and what happens is whatever color pops right next to them is the color that they will become. And sometimes you can get incredible combos off of them. So let's just see what we can do with this thing. And there was probably a better way I could have taken care of this. I don't remember exactly what that thing is. It looks like it just constantly moves up. Oh man, Andrew, you screwed that shot up pretty bad. Okay. There's no excuse for how bad I am playing at the moment. But anyway, let's put that right there. No, that is right at the top. Let's see, can I bank this in? Yes, so Bust-A-Move is a game, it's all about angles and always trying to get the perfect angle to get bubbles where you want them to go. And it takes some really precise shots sometimes. It definitely takes quite a bit of practice. I am not in super Bust-A-Move shape at the moment. It has been a little while since I have really gone at it and tried to beat a game of Bust-A-Move. But man, look how scared we are because it's almost at the bottom. So it's pretty much the opposite of Tetris. In Tetris, you don't want the things to hit the top, although in Bust-A-Move you do not want the bubbles to hit the bottom. And man, this blue one does not have a good place to go at all. Let's see, so that can go there. Man, again, blue. That star bubble in the middle there is very useful, and whatever color bubble hits it when you shoot it, all of the bubbles of that color will disappear. So if you hit it with the right color, you can sometimes beat a level very quickly. Yeah, I screwed up that one. Okay. Can't really get it. Oh, I could probably shoot it in there. No. Not quite. Oh, luckily we saved it like that. Blue would be a complete waste since there are hardly any blue. I want to make black disappear, so let's shoot it in there. And yeah, so like I said, you can knock off a big chunk of the level if you hit it with the correct color. This one we do not want you at all. And man, I just cannot make some simple shots today. So yes, every kind of area, or like we chose the Chariot, it will be, I think they all consist of 5 levels, so this would be the final one here. Also, something new to be introduced in Bust-A-Move 4 was the pulleys, and as you see, depending on how heavy each kind of thing is, some of them will fall. And yeah, that was a new thing in Bust-A-Move 4 that wasn't in any of the other games, I believe. So that was a great way to get rid of some of those. As you can see, obviously the rope is connected to the red bubbles, so it would be great to get rid of those, although unfortunately I don't have any red ones at the moment. And man, I screwed that up, but yes, we could save it. No big problem there. See, this one can go over here, and man, I just cannot make the simplest of shots today. Although this should go well there, although we still need to get a black one there. And luckily, you won't get colors of bubbles that no longer exist. Like, we would never get a red one now since there's no red bubbles left. So it's not that big of a jerk at the end where if like you only need black, it's going to start giving you all the different colors of the rainbow. Anyway, that is the first world down, and as you can see here, we have gotten one of the cards. It's almost like at the end of a level of Mario 3, you got the Chariot card. Overall, even without the story and the cards, Bust-A-Move is just a very fun game, so I figured it was about time I finally played it for a random game of the day. Next up, try this one right here. So, let's see. Fortunately, if I shot straight up, the red one would not hit both of those red ones. Although if I do that, yeah, very good. Of course, there's time bonus and stuff like that, although sometimes it is just more fun to take your time, and I am botching everything. That was not what I wanted to do there. Okay, so you shoot straight up through there, got that. Ah, it's supposed to destroy the whole right side. Okay, I got this. Yes! So you always need to look for those kind of spots where if you hit the bubble there, it will cause a whole bunch to fall. The yellow flashing things at the top kind of act like anti-gravity things, where they will always float no matter what, and as long as bubbles are touching them, they will stay up in the air as well. Although, what you want to do is kind of destroy the bubbles that are closest to the anti-gravity things, like the white ones right there. Let's see, if I got another white one, we could... Actually, I don't even need the bank, and now that big clump of things fell. So there you go! Time bonus is 90,000 points. It is not hard to rack up a ton of points in this game, although, of course, since it is not the arcade version, high scores do not really matter. Let's see. What do I want to do here? You can't, like I said, you can do some really incredible things with these magnet bubbles, although it's very hard to sometimes, especially when you never get the color that you actually want. Let's see. That was a bad move. Where do I even want to put these things? I don't know! So put that there. Let's see, green, I can just kind of shove you over there. Yellow, man, I know I'm not going to be able to get those orange ones over there. I'm not getting any of the right colors. Here, that popped that. This one we need to bank into there, although that did not work. I can do that. This needs to go in there, although that sucked. Very nice, okay. So it's also a game about recovering from your mistakes, and as we've seen in this video, I have been making a whole ton of them. Although overall, just like in any other puzzle game like Tetris, sometimes you can really make a huge mistake and it looks like you're about to lose, but if you don't give up, you can usually make an epic comeback, and I don't know why I just wasted that one. Oh man, so you don't even need orange anymore because there's no orange ones left. You got that. And man, that was supposed to fit in there, although it never seems to want to do what it needs to do. Okay, red is impossible to get to from here. I'll just get rid of that. Got that there. Orange. Green. Let's see. It's going to be very difficult to do, but can I do that? Yes! Ha! I'm actually quite surprised I was able to pull that one off. And he's still really scared. I guess those orange ones are getting really close. But luckily, just enough time to get rid of them. And there you go. That was not my best display of skill in Puzzle Bobble, although overall, I'm still not terrible. It's a funny story. I remember, like I was saying, I used to play this at a place called Palladium all the time. And when I got my PlayStation, I went to a game store, and they saw a game that I thought was this. Now, I mean, I was a young kid at the time, so, you know, paying attention to what the names of games that I was playing wasn't really my top priority. I just wanted to play the games and enjoy them, and then if it was an arcade game, I usually wouldn't remember the name for too long after. So I went to a game store, and I found a game called Buster Brothers Collection for the original Sony PlayStation, and I'm like, wow, that looks like it has bubbles on the front. It has to be Bust-A-Move. Well, like, of course, I didn't know that the name of the game was Bust-A-Move. I just like, it has to be that game with the bubbles that everyone loves. So I picked that up, and it turned out that Buster Brothers was actually another arcade game that I really loved, that I couldn't remember the name of. So it was funny how that worked out. It wasn't the game that I actually wanted it to be, although Buster Brothers is an incredible game, and I actually did play it for a random game of the day at a little while back. Because, yeah, Buster Brothers, there's a lot of really great arcade games. They all have to do with bubbles. Anyway, so see, even though I didn't really need the orange one, I could place it there, and since I'm about to destroy these black ones anyway, there was really nothing lost by placing it there. So we got that. Let's see if I could bank that up there. If I could hit this off the wall now. This one is unfortunately going to have to go to waste. But where should I waste it? There we go. Got that there. Don't need that, and if we hit this correctly, darn it! Okay, there we go. That was a very good round, actually, with the exception of the end, which I kind of screwed up. See, it should be the last round of this section. So those ones turn yellow. Well, I guess at least it didn't go somewhere terrible. Alright, how should I get that purple one to stay? I wonder what kind of the most crazy banking thing I could do was. That was not what I wanted to do. Oh well. see. So if I shoot that one up there, that one there, that one there, that one... I looked at the next one instead of the actual one I was about to shoot. Never do that. It is a terrible mistake that will destroy you when you try to go too fast. Yeah! Don't ask me why that happened, but that was going... The game's like, I cannot take any more of your terrible playing. Oh man, so as you can see, I went back in time just to play this in January 27th, 1998. See the things I do for you guys, using my time machine just to go back in time to play things and make them all that much more authentic. I actually don't think this game came out till 2000, actually. Where is the case? It's over here. Bust-A-Move 4 for the Dreamcast came out in the year 2000. So I am actually creating like a massive paradox right now, taking games back to a time when they weren't even out yet. I wonder how much that would screw things up. Taking like a PlayStation 3 back to like the 1980s. It would just destroy the universe. But anyway, it appears my Dreamcast or the game or something has had some kind of glitch. So woo for that. I mean, you figure you'd have those problems with NES games, but not Dreamcast games. I'll have to investigate this. Maybe the disc has a fingerprint on it or something, which definitely wasn't me. So I never put fingerprints on my games. But anyway, I suppose that's where we're going to have to call it a day. I almost beat 10 rounds, but the game really hated me, and I was not playing super awesome. But hopefully, I've reminded everyone out there just how awesome Bust-A-Move is. And if you have a console that has a Bust-A-Move game for it, definitely go and pick up Bust-A-Move. Now that I think about it, like when you look at things like Xbox Live Arcade and the PlayStation Store, is there any kind of Bust-A-Move on there? I mean, it would make the perfect game for it, but now that I think about it, I don't think there is. And you have everything else on there. You have Bomberman and all that stuff, but I don't know if any of them have Bust-A-Move. And the disc is being checked, and it looks like it's about to try starting up again. But I think that's all we're going to do for today. I mean, man, this is pretty great. So thank you very much for watching. So, oh man, we could play the tracks. I was actually wondering if you could do that. Could you do that with any Dreamcast game? Am I the biggest dork ever and not realizing this before? Because usually when I play a Dreamcast game, I put the disc in and then I turn the console on. Where if you turn the console on and then put the disc in, it brings you to this menu. I'm pretty sure you can turn off auto start, but I've never really actually gone to music before because I figured, oh, it's just for music CDs. But this is an interesting revelation. So now I'm going to sit here and listen to the entire 122-minute soundtrack. Well, everyone else can go and enjoy nature, go outside, go for a jog. If it's not snowing like it is here, I can't believe it. It's almost the middle of April, and schools were actually closed on the day of recording this because of snow and freezing rain. I cannot believe this. This is the craziest weather ever. But anyway, I've rambled on for long enough, so thank you very much for watching. Go and play some Bust-A-Move, and I hope to see you next time for something different. So thanks, and see you later.